Hi everyone, welcome to Module 12. With this module we're going to be talking about business organizations. And when we talk about business organizations, what we mean are the different ways one can establish a business. Oftentimes you think about franchises as a separate type of business, but actually a franchise is started when you buy into a franchise. You start with deciding on a type of business organization, as we're going to discuss. So your primary types of business organizations, we have partnerships, we have sole proprietorships, there are corporations, and there's LLCs and LLPs. An LLC is a limited liability company, an LLP is a limited liability partnership, and then we also have limited partnerships. So the type of business you want to create is going to be based on where you see your business going in the future. Small business formation we talk about as a sole proprietorship, a general partnership, or a limited partnership. So you have an idea for a business, you want to be an accountant, or you want to have a small little mom and pop, store, something of that nature. So you're thinking, oh, I'll just go ahead and I'll create a sole proprietorship. I'll run it myself and I will do everything myself, and that's fine. And remember, if you're going to, that means that you bear all of the risk, but you also get all the rewards from it. So I never recommend being a sole proprietorship. If you're going to be in business, I always recommend being a corporation, because it's just as easy to form a corporation, if not easier, than a general partnership. So sole proprietorships, you have risks, profits, benefits, decision making. Everything with a sole proprietor is on the sole proprietor. So you've got the risk. You're going to get all the profit, but all the decision making is by that one person, because sole proprietor means that just one person is running the operation. A partnership, you could have 2 or more people in a partnership. You could have a general partnership with 2 people. You could have a general partnership with 4 people. It doesn't matter, but it's a partnership, which means everybody shares in the partnership itself, and there are uniform partnership laws generally in each state that govern how the partnership is to be formed, how the partnership is to be run, and how the partnership is to be dissolved if it's going to be dissolved in the future. Partnerships don't always go in the best direction. The little cartoon that I have here, if you have a partnership and the partners are going in 2 separate directions, you're not going to get anything done, right? So you always want to make sure that you're moving in the right direction, the same direction, and that you complement each other when it comes to decision making. So if you are going to decide on a partnership, think about the qualities and characteristics that you and the other person who will be your partner are bringing to the company and the business. Maybe one of you is better at networking and organizational skills, and the other is better at finances. So you want to think about those things when you think about selecting somebody to bring into a business. A limited partnership has a very limited purpose, and generally what happens with the limited partnership is you have a general partnership that's already created, and then the limited partner comes in, and really they're primarily there in a limited partnership to provide funding for the partnership. Now sometimes what you will do is you can have 2 general partnerships or 2 entities. It could be a limited liability company or 2 corporations, and you form a limited partnership for a specific purpose or for a specific event or period of time. So a limited liability company, that was very different than a limited partnership. With a limited liability company, you're looking at something that has some similarity to a corporation, but it's not a corporation. It is an unincorporated entity. Its attributes are that you can choose the type of taxation. In other words, do you want to be taxed as a partnership, or do you want to be taxed as a corporation? There are specifics to forming a limited liability company, and oftentimes people think the limited liability companies are definitely the way to go. I never recommend a limited liability company. If you are going to go into business and you know that you're really going to go into a business you want to grow in the future, it's not going to remain some small little structure, then I recommend that you go ahead and form a corporation. With a corporation, you have a lot more flexibility to grow as your business grows. And you also don't have to worry so much about personal liability unless you do something inappropriate against the corporation. Then we're going back to what we learned regarding agency. So when we talk about corporations, you're going to be able to spread the risk because the corporation is a completely separate entity from you. Even if you're the only one in the business at the time that you start it, you can still start a corporation, and you just go through the process that you normally would as you bring on stakeholders or stockholders, however you would like to term them. But your fiduciary duty, you don't have to worry about as long as you're doing what you're supposed to for the corporation. What I mean by that is you will be protected for the acts that you do under the guise of the corporation as long as you don't breach that fiduciary duty. And remember, that fiduciary duty is that duty of responsibility to always act in the best interest of your principal. If you form a corporation, a limited liability company, a partnership, whatever it is, the entity, the partnership, the limited liability company, the corporation is the principal, and you now, as the officer, are an employee of that organization, and you therefore are the agent. So you don't want to do anything that would breach your fiduciary duty to the corporation or business entity, whatever that might be. Global businesses, we talk about multinational companies. Those are going to be different, and the requirements are going to be different depending on where you choose to do business outside of the United States. So think about that when you're looking at the materials for this week. Take a look at the homework folder and see what homework you have due this week, your action items and what action items are due this week, and move forward from there. If you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to contact your instructor. Have a great week.